If you've already embraced the decision to let your hair go beautifully gray, or you've been thinking about it and are close to ditching the dye, you'll most likely find that you'll need to make some subtle changes to your makeup in order to make your gray, white, or silver hair really pop and your skin glow. So in today's video, I'll share some makeup tips that will help you beautifully enhance your white, gray, or silver strands. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome, and thank you so much for stopping by today. And for those of you who are already part of this family, thank you for stopping back in. My name is Elise, and my mission and passion as a makeup artist is to help those of us with mature skin feel celebrated, supported, and confident. So every Thursday, you'll find a new video on this channel focusing on the makeup tips, techniques, and products that can take us from good to gorgeous. And occasionally we also tiptoe into the worlds of fashion and health and wellness. Well, now let's talk beautiful gray, silver, and white hair makeup. I think it's generally thought that white, silver, or gray hair is strictly cool toned, but in actuality there are different undertones to gray hair. Some gray undertones can be warmer and some can be cooler. What this means is that there is no one way to change our makeup that works for all of us. I wish there were, because it would be a whole lot easier. But to be very honest, each of us needs to do some experimenting to find out what flatters our gray, white, or silver hair and also our skin tone the most. But the good news is that there are some general guidelines which are helpful and which we'll cover today. The first guideline that's absolutely crucial in discovering our most beautiful makeup for gray, silver, or white hair is actually a first step that's crucial for all of us to know, no matter what our hair color is. And that first guideline is to know the undertone of our skin. Although the outer layer of our skin can change a bit over the years or at various times of the year, such as in the summer, the undertone of our skin never changes. We have either a warm, cool, or a neutral undertone. If you're not sure of your undertone, please check out this video, which will give you 9 questions to answer, which will help you determine the undertone of your skin. Well, let's first concentrate on how the undertone of our skin impacts our choice of foundation or tinted moisturizer. If we have a warm undertone, our gray hair will definitely add more coolness around our face, which will shift how our complexion appears. If your foundation is too warm, it can make the skin look too golden. So it would be helpful to get some foundation samples at a department store makeup counter that are slightly less warm or more neutral to see if that color will help your makeup look more cohesive. If you have a cool undertone, the added coolness of gray hair color against your skin may cause you to look a little bit too pale or washed out. So just a slight adjustment to a slightly less cool foundation if you have a cool undertone, or a slightly less warm foundation if you have a warm undertone, could end up being a far more flattering look with your new hair look. We want to bring our skin to life by complementing our hair color rather than clashing with it. It may also be important to reevaluate the finish of our foundation. A matte foundation can make our skin look dull or flat, so even if you do have oily skin, you may want to consider checking out a satin finish foundation, which would bring a bit more radiance to your skin. By adjusting the shade of our foundation and the finish to complement our gray hair, we can really create a truly polished and natural look. Well, probably the question I get most often from women who are transitioning to gray hair is, what color should my eyebrows be? Filling in our sparse or gray and white brows is critical to providing a beautiful frame for our eyes, and as a matter of fact, for our entire face. So this does become an important consideration, because when our hair is gray, white, or silver, our brows can suddenly seem way too dark, way too light, or just somehow off. Brows that are too dark can look harsh and unnatural, and if they're too light, they can start to disappear or look invisible. So sticking with the same brow color that we've used for most of our life when we've had blonde, brown, red, or black hair can look too warm, too cold, or simply out of balance. So you may want to consider choosing a brow color that's 1 or 2 shades lighter than your natural color if you had dark hair. A cool tone taupe shade, which is a neutral color that's a subtle mix of brown and gray, creates a warm, muted shade that can be lovely. Or you may want to consider a soft brown color or an ashy gray shade. Both of these colors will usually look more natural. An especially good brow product option is a tinted brow gel with fibers, which can blend in the gray in a subtle manner without making our brows look too stark. And you definitely want to avoid a brow color that has too much red in it, since that can look out of place with the cooler tones of gray hair. But it is very important to say that there are no right or wrong colors, since a beautiful brow lifts and enhances our eyes and really transforms our face by providing a sense of balance. It's really important to find a shade that feels right to you. I'm going to head off camera and transform my hair color so we can try a few different brow shades to see what might look best. Well, I'm back with definitely quite a different look. I've applied Rare Beauty's brow powder in Taupe on my right brow, and I'd be curious to know which you feel works best. Frankly, I think I definitely want to do some more experimenting and try out a couple of other products like e.l.f.'s Wow Brow in Taupe, or the light brown gray or medium brown gray pencil or powder from the I Embrace Eyebrow line, or the Maybelline Express Brow Fast Sculpt Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Soft Brown. There are a lot of options out there. Well, a fascinating research study that can most powerfully inform our makeup choices is one that was done to find out what makes us most attractive to other people. This was an extremely large study that was done with subjects of all different ethnicities. The research concluded that what makes us most attractive to others is the amount of facial contrast we have. When we go white, gray, or silver, we lose some of that facial contrast, which is definitely evident when you look at the change in my hair color. That's why adding color back into our skin with blush and lipstick can be especially important when we go gray. And it becomes even more important to choose a color that makes our skin glow and come alive. Even if we have a warm skin undertone and have looked beautiful before going gray when we wore deeper coral and deeper peach tones as lipstick and blush, those deeper warm tones may clash a bit with our cooler gray hair. So if you have a warm undertone, you may want to opt for more neutral peachy pink tones, which will add warmth without looking too strong or too overpowering as deeper orange or coral colors might. For those of us with cool tone skin, pinks, roses, or berry tones that aren't too cool will most likely work best. But before we test out some blush colors, I hope you'll take a moment to let YouTube know if you're enjoying this video by hitting that thumbs up symbol. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you'll do so before you leave today. Thank you. Well, I'm going to apply some lighter and deeper shades of pink blush tones to see how they work on my cool undertone. On my right side, I'll apply Patrick Ta's Major Headlines Double Take Cream and Powder Blush Duo in the shade Just Enough, which is a soft blue pink. And on the left side, I'll apply Patrick Ta's Major Headlines Double Take Cream and Powder Blush Duo in the shade She's Giving, which is a much brighter and stronger blue pink. And I'm going to apply this in the way that makeup artist Patrick Ta suggests that we apply it, by using the powder first and then the cream on top. All right, so this is a beautiful soft pink, which is really gorgeous. And I've already applied highlighter. You can probably tell. I used Rare Beauty highlighter on both sides of my face. And then over it, I'll tap on the cream. And on the left side, I'll be using this brighter blush called She's Giving. This powder is definitely gonna, come across far brighter. And the blush is even stronger. Getting some on the wig. And I now have a pink shaded wig. Well, there's a definite difference in how strong these colors look. Do you prefer this lighter pink side with the blush shade Just Enough, or this brighter side with the blush shade She's Giving? Another interesting shade I could use, which is quite a bit darker, but it's much more neutral looking, is one called She Goes to the Gym. My hunch is that this would be way too strong for this look. Now, there's definitely no right or wrong choice here, but I would love to know which color you feel works best with my white hair. Since for many of us, our skin becomes drier as we get older, a combination of cream and powder blush can work really well. The cream adds some glow and a lit from within look, and being able to layer on the cream over the powder means that our blush will be more long lasting. But if you have oily skin, you may just want to stick to powder blush or a blush with a cream to powder finish. Well, lipstick is next, and it's so important for adding the contrast that gray hair needs and for pulling our whole makeup look together. The wrong shade can leave us looking washed out, so we definitely want to avoid nude lipsticks with a brown or a beige base. These lipstick colors don't create enough contrast, and they can make our face look lifeless since the colors will blend into our skin tone. Soft pinks and mauves can be beautiful on cool tone skin, and peachy pinks look gorgeous on warm tone skin. And depending on the undertone of our gray, white, or silver hair, even bolder bright berry tones or blue reds for cool tone skin or warm reds for warm undertones can look absolutely stunning. Bolder colors can definitely look chic and sophisticated. So I'm going to try a softer lip look as well as a bolder look, and I hope you'll weigh in on which you feel you like better. First, we'll go with a softer look. I'll apply Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk lip liner, followed by Catrice's matte lipstick in shade 80 and Milani's Pink Frost over it. And I think I need some gloss over it, so I'm going to use my Lawless gloss in the shade Dazette. Wow, that gloss definitely brings more life to my lips. So here's the combination of colors I used for this softer look. Now, let's go bold with the L'Oreal lip liner in Perfect Burgundy, Catrice's matte shade in number 70 over it, and Fenty Beauty's Gloss Bomb in Fuchsia Flex on top. Here are the colors for the bolder look. And I'm also going to mix in some of the shade 80, which has a little bit more plum to it. Definitely a stronger, bolder look. I think there's a natural assumption that when we go gray, silver, or white, we need to tone down our makeup so it looks more natural and understated. But as I mentioned earlier, what we really need is more contrast rather than less contrast, since strategic color can really enhance our features. However, this doesn't mean that we necessarily need to go bright and bold like I just did. Just choosing the best colors for the undertone of our skin that aren't neutrals that wash us out can make a world of difference. When we go gray, white, or silver, the right foundation shade, a brow color that's not too strong yet provides contrast, and blush and lip colors that make our skin tone come alive can really help us look more confident, modern, updated, and radiant. Embracing our white, gray, or silver hair can be a beautifully positive experience. Well, if you'd like more makeup tips and great product options delivered to your inbox each week, along with short articles and recommendations that especially resonate with those of us who are over 50, be sure to check out my weekly newsletter. You can find a link for it in the pinned comment below or in the description box. And if you're not sure about the undertone of your skin, be sure to check out this video, which I mentioned earlier. You'll find a link for it in the pinned comment below as well as in the description box. Well, I look forward to being with you again next Thursday, and until then, I wish you good health and happiness, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.